central bank's Monetary Policy Committee has cut the benchmark interest rate by 75 basis points to 12%. This cut is expected to bring reprieve to borrowers grappling with expensive loans, which has been brought about by a rise in non-performing loans and a decline in the demand for credit. Let's get more from our very own Jasmine Wambui.
The central bank, through its Monetary Policy Committee, chaired by Dr. Kamau Thuge, has cut its lending rate from 12.75% to 12%. This is the largest rate cut since 2020. This cut comes at a time when the country has seen a sharp deceleration in credit to the private sector. The central bank is hopeful that this cut will trigger a fall in the cost of borrowing at a time when lenders have reported an upswing in non-performing loans.
The whole idea really of this sharp reduction in the CBR rate is to encourage the banks to lower their lending rates so that we can also reduce the NPLs and also encourage borrowing by the private sector from the banks.
The central bank says that the rate cut has been occasioned by a decline in inflation rates to 3.6%, sluggish economic growth in the second quarter of the year, and economic recovery on the global stage. Further, the Kenyan shilling has remained steady on account of an increase in inward remittances and the country's growing exports.
The global inflation has continued to moderate, mainly supported by lower commodity prices and the lagged effects of previous monetary policy tightening. Central banks in major economies, including the US Federal Reserve, the European Central Bank, the Bank of England, and also the Bank of Canada, have lowered interest rates with expectations of further reductions in the remainder of 2024.
The country's forex reserves now stand at $8.2 billion, which is equivalent to slightly above 4 months of import cover. The CBK affirms that the shilling will continue to do well despite looming rate cuts by the Federal Reserve. Before the recent rate cuts, the Monetary Policy Committee had raised the rates by 5.5 percentage points since the tightening began in May of 2022. Jasmine Wambui, Citizen TV.